What's up, bro? Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. We are live on video because I wanted to get the VVOR transaction set up and out of the way. So while we get the spaces up, we can kind of just chill.
Sweet. Give me a few minutes. Okay. Give me a second.
And we got our chat box on the side. I got my laptop. VVOR stream looks beautiful.
I thought it was going to let me start the spaces. It does not.
It did. Damn. So you got to do a whole new one.
I know that it lets me like 30 minutes into it,
but not an hour.
It gives a reminder like, hey, start your spaces.
All right. No worries.
So, I mean, I could start one right now, or I could just start it in 30 minutes or whenever it lets me. What do you think? We got 14 people set up for the notifications.
It's a good question. Honestly, dude, if we go an hour without inviting people anyway, like what? I mean, we could just do our thing and then put the spaces up later, unless you wanted to, if you want to start one now and as people come in, we can build the audience and then invite people to speak. That could happen. I think maybe do that. Maybe just start a new one. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure that in at least 27 minutes or any minute here, it's going to let me start it. Because I've started one on accident 30 minutes early.
Okay.
Reminder.
Try that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is the one that people have. I mean, it says 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah. You goose.
We're live on YouTube though, right?
Yep, we're on YouTube. It looks beautiful on Twitter because now for some reason I'm on Twitter right now. I'll actually send it to you. Remember last week I couldn't find what the feed, like where the video was on the feed, but now it's directly in my my timeline. It looks fantastic too.
I wonder how. Let me get well. Okay, yeah, because I don't have this. I mean, bro, we're on Twitter. We're on live on the Kaspa, right?
Yes. Yep. We got 6 viewers on there right now too.
Yeah, so let's keep that, and then we'll add the viewers on spaces here in a second.
Okay. No, that's all.
We can get it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about having that the beginning of the show set up for us. And then have it turn into what it's been after that. And we did a good job last week, and I think the week before too. We took a lot of time to really get into who we are and what we want out of this before, in loving terms, before the audience hijacks the show. So I think having just us for a while, regardless of what it looks like, this should be great.
Yeah, man. It's a good structure to get it started that way. People get used to it and they can come in and jump in on the convo, dance with us in the conversation,
Hell yeah. So then let's kick it off. We are live on the Kaspa Standard. This is episode 20. Welcome to episode 20 of Live on the Kaspa Standard. I am Bishop at LOTKS.kas Podcast. That is Juan at Glitchin888. We are live on X, live on the Kaspa. We are also live on YouTube, youtube.com/live on the Kaspa Standard. You can also find us on VVOR, VVOR.xyz/channel/TWTakes Podcast. So if you go to either one of our socials, we should have the links all over it. Most of the time when we put out the reminder for the show, the links are there. So just make sure you follow us and stay along. For the last couple episodes, we have been sponsored by Bettermelts. GetBettermelts.com. For 50% off, use the promo code LOTKS. And just so you guys are aware, I didn't want an extra cup of coffee before I had the show. I took a focus milk before we got started. So I'm feeling pretty good. I actually feel like the focus melt hit me a little bit. I got some clarity going on, but yeah. So go to getbettermelts.com. Use promo code LOTKS for 50% off any order. Other than that, that's all the biz. We are live on the Kaspa Standard, episode 21. How are
Let's
you?
go. I feel the coffee in you, brother. I feel the energy. I'm like I'm in a new spot, somewhere different, right? It's part of the reason why we pushed the show to Friday to today. But I'm like, what did I not do? Oh, I didn't get my protein. My protein drinks has a little bit of caffeine in it, so I haven't really been drinking coffee. I'm like, that's what it is. So you're my coffee right now until I get a little break here.
Go.
I'll go pour the drink. But yeah, brother, we're here. Happy Friday. Happy to have this conversation. It's been a minute, right? I think the last episode was not this past Monday, but the Monday before that.
Yeah.
We've been on a little break here, and happy to be here, bro. This is medicine for me. I've told you that. I've shared that with you. So, been on this money making vacation, and this is straight medicine. I love coming and having this conversation on a weekly basis. Our 20th one. We did 2 shows one week. So
that's right. This is week 19.
This is week 19, show number 20. Yeah, man. Happy to be here. How you feeling?
Me too, man. Like you said, it's medicine. And actually, I think I hit you up. It was either yesterday or the day before. I was like, man, I'm just foggy, bro. And I think what it was is that we didn't do our show on Monday, and I don't say that lightly, flippantly, or even like, romantically, if you will. Like, I just feel when we do this show, we end up in a frequency that allows like certain bits of operation to click a little bit better for me. And I feel like that's been missing this week. Mm-hmm. I do. Yeah. And that's with me and you even communicating the way we have. And we'll get into it a little bit later, if you will, but we canceled the show on Monday because we have lives and those lives kind of hit ahead. And it was funny enough, timing wise for both of us, it was perfect not to do the show on Monday, but even then it's still like making that move still kind of disrupted the rest of my week. Even though it was the right thing to do, it still kind of disrupted the rest of my week. And kind of, I guess I feel like I feel like it kind of bummed me out,
Yeah. That's a part of, I mean, we built a habit here, right? So that's what we've done, being on this show and being consistent. And that's half the battle. I think it's actually more than half the battle, just showing up and being here, being present. So we've done that consistently. In the beginning, it was just like it is right now, because we will be live on X, on the spaces that I set up and have everybody here shortly. I am Central Time. I set it up for Eastern. So we'll get it fixed. It lets me start the space. We could have started a new spaces here, but that's just what Bishop and I agreed to here. So we'll get everybody on board here a little bit, but we're starting the show with a conversation here. I do speak with you on mostly a daily basis through some voice notes, but yeah, this is a part of a habit, man, that we've created. So when it's not there, I can relate. Same deal. Last week, like every week in this entrepreneurial world that I'm diving back into, there are things that come up and I have to make really quick decisions. One of the decisions I didn't picture myself being, I'm in Texas, so I didn't expect that to happen. But an opportunity arose and it aligned with what I needed to happen, where I am and what I'm doing. So here I am in a beautiful home out in Texas, and here we go, bro. So yeah, we made the adjustments that we had to make, but I feel the same, right? Like there's things that you have to get yourself used to when it doesn't kind of go the way you have it planned. So I try not to attach myself to the outcome and the plans, but I'm human. We're human beings, right? Like it's nice to have I expect the show at 12 o'clock on Mondays. We had that going for a little bit. But yeah, man, we adjust and we make it happen. It's the way it works. That's life. That's live on the Kaspa standard right there, you know?
No, for sure. For sure. I mean, I think what hit me, like I even texted you the other day. I was like, bro, like I miss you. Like with that, because like you said, that habit, like, yeah, we voice note every day, but the even just through screen and through, because we don't FaceTime, it's a voice note, and then even we'll text too much and you're like, bro, send me a fucking voice note.
Yeah, that's
And
weird when
but
I
this,
get text messages from you. I don't.
yeah. And it's funny because before you, I never really voice noted anyone. I think you sent me a voice note in a DM on X, and I was like, you know what? That's what you can't do anymore, which is a bummer. But no, I was like, yeah, actually, this form of communication, because specifically with me and you, the way we have been operating, you'll say something, and then I have to think, right? And when you're texting back and forth, if you don't text soon enough, it's like, well, wait, did they even read it? Did they see it? Whatever. But like with the voice notes, like, no, think about this one and then let me know. And then those they went from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. And the last, I think yesterday, the day before, I sent you a 10-minute one because we didn't do this. You know, we didn't vibe in that frequency, which is awesome, man. Like having the ability to understand that you need certain things that maybe you didn't think you did. That's why this show's important, you know, not just for us and but you know, everyone who listens, and then even the people we impact afterwards, right? We want to be our best selves. So how do we show up best for everyone else? Well, if this is medicine, then I need my dosage so I can now operate in my frequency for everyone else, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. When you have the right practice, I mean, my life has been, especially as an entrepreneur, you realize, like most people think they want the freedom, right? So when you start vibing in a way where you're in a sense creating your days, you realize that structure is super important. So having structure to your days creates the freedom within the day to operate, right? So I know how important that is, and I've been in the practice specifically with the money making vacation that I've talked about here over the past couple of weeks, understanding like, okay, I haven't been in this energy in this way for a couple of years, and it's I'm finding myself like I'm on the phone quite a bit, making phone calls and diving in a couple different businesses and have opportunities come up. It was a great week, money making wise. So that's going to continue and it's only going to get better. So that's exciting. And what I'm realizing now, just thinking about it here, I'm like, okay, man, I could not have done what I did this past week if I didn't put myself through the training camp per se that I've been through over the past couple months. Right. So it's exciting because it's like, expansion is a never ending thing. And that's where I've been in my life. I've practiced expansion and growth for 25 plus years, so since getting my foster mom is really when it really started to take off, right? And being in the working world, the professional world, right? You can work the 9 to 5 and kind of have something set for you, and then there's the entrepreneur way. There isn't one way that's, I don't necessarily look at it like, oh, this is the way that you should go or this person should go. I think it's different for everybody. I think you can find sovereignty within a 9 to 5, right? Like I actually do think that. I think you can find it specifically with what you're doing, right? If you're not attached to the money and stuff like that, and you're serving a purpose. So yeah, this is just what works for me. I did try a corporate job for a little bit. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't, this is not my jam. I'm not a water cooler guy. Like what's going on with this person and that person, this is like, if I have something to say to you, like I say it to your face, and I'll say it behind your back because I'll say it to your face too, right? So that's just how I've been for a long time. So like that was that dynamic. I'm like, I don't, and the ass kissing like that I kind of saw in there. No, that's not me. No, thank you. No, thank you. So it's fitting that I'm here with Kaspa and we talk truth and we're like, let's get to. But here I have questions. Like, let's get to this. Let's have the tough conversation. So, yeah, brother, it's here we are.
Absolutely. And again, those who are scrolling through and seeing us on Twitter with no spaces, that'll be coming soon. But feel free to comment if you're watching us on X or YouTube. Throw a comment in there. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But if you do comment, we can display the comments on the shit on the feed. So like as we're broadcasting, we'll be able to throw your comments up and read them out as well. So, but yeah, no, I'm with you, bro, and I love how these synchronicities are coming up with us, because it helps kind of ground what looks new. You know, like as I've said for years, people hate change. You know, like you said, the having a routine, having a structure to your day, people crave that shit, man. Like yes, we want our freedom, but sit around with nothing to do, right? And then you'll start trying to figure out how to structure your shit. So when you're trying to build sovereignty, at least in my aspect over this, you know, as you guys have known my journey, you know, I kind of been operating within my own means, trying to build an independent structure, and I get pulled down when people are when I rely on them to do their part and they don't do it. You know, as I mentioned, I had you know, rental properties, and this one that we're trying to get done, I just had to switch property managers. Well, I found out this week that I was trying. The last time I talked to that property manager was on the 10th of February, and I didn't actually hear from him until the 10th of March, and that was after I sent him a letter of termination for our services. My new property manager, within 5 days, found out that those tenants I was trying to kick out left on the 14th of February. 4 days after I hadn't even, I stopped hearing from my property manager, and he was trying to, at least telling me he was trying to kick them out. And I say all that to say is, like, when you trust other people to do their job and you find out that they don't, what does that mean to you? You know, and do you allow that to pull from your mental? Do you allow that to rob your sovereignty? And it was very hard for me for like an hour. My wife was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, I'm fucking, I drafted an email like this fucking long on my phone. I just kept scrolling, and I deleted it because that was all the catharsis I needed. I was gonna demean someone and give him my opinion after I already told him I didn't need his services. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any other words after that, that's just for me to feel better about myself by making sure he feels worse about himself. What type of sovereignty is that? You know, I have to tie myself to his feelings, or at least my projection of his feelings, as if he might even see it or just delete it without opening or whatever. I just have to trust the fact that I'm going to make him feel like shit so I feel better. I couldn't do it. And it felt good to breathe, not send it and go, fuck yeah. My problem's actually solved.
Yeah.
They're gone. Well, we're going to find out Sunday for sure. You know, there's some other red tape that has to do with it, because in Delaware, it's a very tenant-friendly state. And there might be a, long story short, we're not completely out of the weeds, but by Sunday we should know. But again, like this, when I look at the positives of it and I go, yeah, I don't need that guy anymore. I don't need him to even hear the negative shit to make me happy. I don't, because he's not going to collect any checks for me afterwards. He's not to secure any business for me afterwards. No, I need to align myself with the process that I've been working on, and know that as I make these steps forward, the things that happened in the past, lesson learned, keep moving. Lesson learned, keep moving.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels really good. It's exciting. It's nerve wracking, because the potential, you know, again, long story short, the potential is to 100x what's happening, or to 2x. Sorry, to 2x what's happening. You know, we were getting 1,000, we might get 2,000. Like that's the potential here. You know, and to get there, again, like I'm excited. I'm not upset anymore. You know, and it's really cool to be in this space. And it's hard because I'm betting on myself. I have been since June, you know, but this journey has taken me to a place where, yeah, by June of this year, I'm going to be in a completely different situation than I was June of last year. And that's fucking awesome.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. I've shared with you, and I've sent you a couple of videos on him. I highly recommend, if no one's never heard of this gentleman. His name's David Bayer. I came across him a couple of years ago, but he's popped back into my algorithm on YouTube. So again, David Bear. And what I hear with what you're talking about is one of the concepts that he talks about. It's like you have this desire, this goal that you're looking to accomplish. So there's that, right? That you're working towards. And he talks about this formula called desire plus non-resistance equals desired result. So what is the non, like in your specific situation, you you went ahead and dealt with it yourself and realized like it's not going to change anything. And then I hear you just accepted it. You accepted it and you're moving forward, right? And I think a lot of people get stuck there. They get stuck in, oh, but let me tell him and it should have been this way and it should have, like, things have already happened. So the
Yeah.
sooner you can realize like things happen the way they're supposed to happen, if you can come to that's how I've been operating, brother. It's just like I'm not even, I know that I'm waking up and I'm still doing my meditation, my little yoga routine. It's not the hot yoga that I was doing in Miami here over the past couple of weeks. But I'm still doing my thing. And then I find myself being like, okay, what needs to happen right now? And then it's just like I'm in this trance of action. And that they were like I have this little dialer where I'm making these calls. And I looked, I'm like, oh man, I've been on here for a while. Like I should probably get something to eat. Like I'm hungry now. So say all that to say, it's like when you're operating in presence and you have those moments where it's like, oh, but I want to tell them and I want to, you do something like that. You write out the email and think of countless times where I've had to do the same thing. Right. And times when I've sent it and if it just, all it does is just bring the problem forward. Right. It's like, it's already done. You don't need them anymore. So, bro, that's beautiful to hear that you're operating like that, because it's like you're right. June, who knows? It could be sooner. Or it couldn't be in June. It could be a little bit later. But it's
Right.
like the outcome when you're not resistant to what is actually happening and you accept things as they're happening, then the universe realigns itself to give you the opportunity the way it's supposed to come. Right. We just have to get out of our own way a lot of times, and it's like you said, it's hard. And I mentioned this last week with words, right? Like there was a word I didn't want to say much, and that has a negative connotation, but I spelled it out, the CRYPTO. And it's not that it's just a practice. Like I know how powerful words are. Like I know that they're a technology. So I even try not to, like, I kind of challenge you to be like, when you find yourself being like, oh, it's difficult, it's hard, like your subconscious almost doesn't it's just like, okay, that's hard, that's what registering, and it goes into your nervous system. And I have the tree of life behind me, shows like the 7 chakras. I have that on like all day while I'm working, just to remind me, like, where's my energy? Am I aligning? Am I accepting what's happening? Because bro, I mean, what I experienced this past week coming out here, and then the money that flowed in this week, I'm like, oh shit, I remember what this felt like a little taste of it. The amount that I'm not going to share the amount, but the amount that came in, some people work months to try to earn it. So I said I was going to come do this, and by the way, there were weeks that nothing came in.
Right.
So but I know it's an energy thing. I know it's like, hey, let me align to my energy. What's going to flow into me? It's going to flow into me. What isn't for me isn't for me, and it's a completely different way to operate. So I will say that's probably more like you talk about the levels, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know how many levels there are, but expansion, man, we're forever expanding, right? Like there's infinite. I see the world in abundance. I see what's possible. I don't box myself in when I'm in this energy. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
No, that's fantastic, and I mean we can key the people in on a couple things. Like you mentioned levels, and there was something that there was some adversity that we both experienced this week, and when me and you kind of had like a real conversation about um the non about us, about Matt and Juan. Like we had a Matt and Juan conversation this week, and we both landed on, you know be at your level 10,
Mm.
right? And it was such a click for me when you said that, because again, like I find what you do and how you operate to be very, aspirational. It's something to look forward to, seeing if something like that is possible when you look at life the way you do. Because, again, like I appreciate what you say about me. You're like, no, it's all in there. It's all in there. And I'm like, yes, but it's trying to push through 41 years of trauma that life gave to me a certain way. Like, for instance, the reason why I don't like the term "it is what it is" because I heard that so much as a kid by people who were trying to pacify certain traumas to me. Right? It's like, hey, this is happening to me. Oh, well, it is what it is. But it isn't, because I'm hurting right now. You know what I mean? So like that's where that term comes to me, and I don't like it. So when I'm looking at, the way that it is what it is to you, kind of it's actually a term of its presence, right? Like it's sitting in presence. It's like, okay, you're right. Presence might hurt. It might be gleeful. It might be whatever. But what was that guy's name again that you sent to me?
David Bayer.
David Bayer. Okay, so this is how my brain works. That's why I forget a lot of shit. But he said, it is what is. So it's not that it is what it is. It is what is, which has a different connotation. It's not dismissive. It's actually soak it in, feel it, look at it.
Yes, there we go.
Experience it. Yeah, and that's totally different. And when you start to change terms from "it is what it is" to "it is what is," you can actually start growing to your level 10. You can start harnessing what your level 10 looks like and stay there. I brought up that quote a couple episodes ago, or towards the beginning, from fuck, I can't remember his name. God, anyway, the the Diary CEO guy. He said, "Live life at the finish line." Right?
Stephen Bartlett.
Stephen Bartlett. Yeah, handsome son of a bitch. And he has an English accent. Yeah, but the live life at the finish line, to me, what that is. So you said, I don't know how many levels there are. I think there only is level 10. But what does that level 10 look like? What does that feel like? When you're building a building, you don't add more floors. You redo the inside to refine it, to make it feel better, to live livelier, to have more value. So your level 10 is always going to be that 10. But can you make it prettier? Can you make it shinier? Can you, for your soul, not for aesthetics, not for vanity, but can you continue to harness and polish that level 10 so it then expands its versatility for you? And I think that's what I'm starting to find, because you've told me the level 10's in there.
Yeah,
and I agree with you. It's one of the things that asked me to you was your ayahuasca journey, because I always saw that as like the great reset for me, right? Like that would go in there and get out all the clutter that's blocking my level 10 from showing up. And speaking with you, I know that's not what it's meant for, right? So
you're in the medicine with me, bro.
And that's why I feel so
ceremony and gone through it. But like anybody that has a conversation with me, or we get into it, like that's what you're getting. You're getting it, because it's like I went and did ayahuasca for a lot of people in my life. And I've said this before. I don't think a lot of people should. I wouldn't never recommend it. Like, oh yeah, this is. I don't speak that way to begin with, but I don't go, hey, you should go do this. I don't think that. I think that stuff calls to you. So it called to me, but I hear it within you, and then I know who I am for you. Like I just need to keep reminding you to come back to here, because it's you talk about, because what I hear with what you're saying, I know you don't like "it is what it is," and I left you a voice note the other day, kind of like challenging that a little bit. I don't know how you felt about that. You didn't respond. That's okay.
It was funny. One of the things you did say is like, hey, I want you to eliminate "try" from your vocabulary. And then you then use the word "try" like 6 more times later. Yeah. It's like,
so try. So that's the thing. Well, going back to what you just said, right? Like, we're gonna. So it's not about like not necessarily using the words, but what's the meaning that's behind the words, and the energy behind the words, right? So I used it in examples, but I was like, hey, bro,
and I talked about how we get to experience you. How do people, there isn't much of a difference. I'm the same Juan here that I am with a customer on the phone, that I am with the person like there. I don't play these different characters. And that hasn't always been the case, by the way. That took a lot of practice, right? So I'm not saying you're going to do this overnight, but like we're human beings. So it's like when people are asking, like, what are you doing? And shout outs to my friend Crystal, because she's the one, she brought this up. She's like, yeah, when people start asking me, like, what am I, how are you doing? I'm gonna start being like, I'm just being. She's going through quite a few challenges herself. It's like I'm just being, and like we are, so we operate like we're supposed to be doing these things, but like no, we're being. That we're not perfect. So we get these tools that we can access and use, like when things come up. And the whole, was it? I heard this from David Bayer, but it was Eckhart Tolle. He said it like one of the biggest. And I'm gonna butcher this because I don't know it off the top, but it was from Eckhart Tolle about what, like, one of the saddest things of the human race is that people never get to truly experience, life, because they're constantly in the past and in the future. And I paraphrased the heck out of that because that's the message that I'm remembering. But again, it goes back to like presence, right? So I've just been in a practice for a long, long time. And I've had people early. There's been times when I haven't had the people in my life and I've gone back. Like we're going to, and I could go back in the future. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like all that matters is like right here, right now, So it's like when you're with, when you're in a situation and you're not fully experiencing, like you're sad about something, or you're like upset or angry, you're not there. You're not in the moment. Because like in the moment, none of that really exists. Sadness, depression, all that shit exists in the past. Anxiety, worry, all that exists because you're thinking of the future. But if you're right here, I mean, this is what we got, man. Like this is it. So everything comes from here. And I just know that practice is what created like the week that I had financially. I know that practice is what had me get on a flight and be like, oh, I can go out there and stay at that house in Texas. Let's go. It's what's got me these beautiful nights of sleep since I've been here. And it was tough the first couple nights, right? Because I'm gonna be away from my son for at least the next month, but that's where I'm operating. Like I'm experiencing this. It's a roller coaster, right? But it's a fun one. There's peaks and valleys. So like, instead of using the words like, oh, it's tough, which I could use, I started practicing. I've been saying this quite a bit. I don't know if you've caught it, but I'm like, oh, there's valleys. And then there's peaks. Like valleys is a nicer word to have my nervous system process like some tough shit, But if I consistently say like, hey, this is hard, this is tough, like that's what I'm signaling to my nervous system. Like, okay, let's fucking stay away from that. It's the same shit with phone calls. Like I'm dialing out to businesses and customers, like creating some fucking business, bro. Like it's not an easy thing to do because there's a lot of rejection. But I play that game with myself, bro. I'm sitting here. I'm gonna see if I can start the spaces. I play the game and I try to make it sound nice. So my nervous system goes, hey, no. Like I know that I'm programming my nervous system to have some fun with this, because otherwise I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I was speaking to. Not you're not going to eliminate those words, but what about the relationship that you have to them, the meaning that you're giving to it, the power that you're giving to it? Because we experience this bishop that's like on a level 10. That's what I get to experience every single time. But you in those moments when it's just you, like you don't really get to experience what we do. And trust me, I go there too. We all do. I'm sure everybody can relate to that. We all do. But I think that's the game. How often can you like be in those moments by yourself where it's like you're having the same experience with yourself that other people do?
Well, that's the tricky part. Like for me, it's the like this is my element. This is my safe space, right? I could broadcast all day. I have a lot of fun doing this. So the energy that exists within doing this is more fruitful for my perspective, because I know what's coming from here. So when it's and I could sit here and do it, right? Like, so I can stay in this moment and go, fuck yeah, this next 2 hours, 3 hours, which by the way, we're done at 2 today. So, for long stories, again, like that's not today. But no, like so that's why I come off as someone different here than I could in for instance, Monday, my wife took my car to work because hers is getting fixed. My car broke down on her, the one that just got fixed. I had to pick her up with my truck, which is cool. And then my truck's not inspected. When I was gonna go get it inspected, the headlight broke, so I have to fix it. I go to fix the headlight, and the wires are frayed. So I have to now, it's just like all those things. It's like they are challenges, and I know how to execute the accomplishment of that challenge. I do, however, don't like the fact I have to go through it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's but you have to be so that's going back to like you not liking it is what it is, right? Like you don't like that because you have this. If you're willing to go here, we can talk about. You don't like that. So what I hear when you say you don't like that is because of this. It's this young version of Bishop that has a trauma response to why you don't like that. So you've defined what it is as like every time you hear that, like you're not accepting it. So going back to what I talked about, desire plus non-resistance equals desired result. So you're resisting that it is like for you, you just change the words. You're like, it is what is. To me, it's like it is what it is. It is what it is, or it is what it is. That's how you're saying it. So whatever you need to say to yourself to accept that that's what's happening. And once you let that go and you accept that, hey, this is how things are, then you call in the energy of whatever needs to come because you've accepted that. When you resist it, it persists. So I'm sure you've heard of what you resist persists. So that's why a lot of people don't get to experience life on like these other levels. Because you're constantly bringing up shit that like wants to leave, like problems. Another beautiful thing. I'm gonna be quoting David Bayer here. I love how he like this is another concept. So problems, he talks about them as like looking at it as contrast. Like a preference is like things that you want to happen, right? Like that you like I don't really enjoy making the phone calls until I get on a phone call and I'm having a good conversation. I'm like there, but the process of getting rejected until I get to that good conversation, it's not really enjoyable. But but what I've been doing, and this has been working great for me, is like, oh, those are just contrasts. Oh, I'm just getting rid of all the people that I don't need to talk to so that I get to the person that I need to talk to. So, oh, thank you for hanging up the phone on me. Thank you for not wanting to talk to me. Now I'm talking to the person who I needed to speak to anyways. So this is the universe aligning itself so that I have these opportunities to make the money that I need to make. Right. And for me to solve a problem for this person. So there's a lot there. Yeah, a lot there. But that's what I'm saying. It's like the attachment to like, hey, but I don't want to accept it is what it is. As long as you do that, it's gonna keep coming up for you. And
for sure. But that's what I heard him say.
Yeah,
is that it is what is, and that helped me click to be able to, like you said, to not feel dismissed, but feel heard and go, okay, sit in it. And you're right, like attachment's a big therapy word, because that's our trauma response from being children. Like we have learned behaviors that set us on a path of who we become, and it takes intervenes like you had with your foster mom and the landmark education and your ceremonies with medicine. It takes those things to help you understand what these new behaviors are, but then it also takes something within you to actually go out and execute that. Because even David Bayer said it. He went through all these things. He actually did, the landmark education.
Yeah, he's done everything.
And then it took this other modality for things to click to him, and for a monk to say something just a little bit different for him to understand, and then he finally gets his moment. So, yeah, man, I think, I think what we should do as humans, period, is trust our gut to understand what feels right, what feels wrong, and then steer into how we can harness that based on those cues we get when it does feel wrong, and that's how we continue to polish our level 10. That's from my particular opinion there. Yeah, just more great shit from the two of us. It's what we do here, live on the Kaspa Standard.
It's great stuff. We're getting deep. We're getting beneath the surface, bro. We're bringing that to here. We're getting beneath the surface on some of this stuff.
Hell yeah! So let's reintroduce the show because we have the spaces up now. So we're live on the Kaspa Standard, episode 20. We're live across 3 video platforms: on X at Live on the Kaspa.s. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/Live on the Kaspa Standard. We're also on vvor.xyz/channel/TWTakes podcast. And as I said, we just open up the spaces. Let's do an audio check.
Yeah, let's do it, because I was going to say I typically have the audio on the spaces. So what do we want to do?
So, okay. So I have you. Are you speaking on spaces right now?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm off. I'm not muted.
Are you speaking on spaces right now? All right.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm not muted.
So I brought up to YouTube. So I don't think your audio is coming through on spaces. Can anyone hear Juan on spaces? Because I'm not even seeing a little purple thing next to you on the space when you speak. You know what I mean?
How about now?
Well, I unmuted you from the stream, but I'm not seeing you connected to audio on the space.
So on spaces, you guys can't hear me?
If somebody can give a thumbs up, thumbs down, or however that goes. But I can't hear you through the spaces when I mute you.
All right.
Yeah, thumbs down on you speaking on the spaces from George and Buffalo.
How about now?
Go ahead, try again. No.
Is going. It's not going right now. How about now? No, it's not picking up.
Come on, Juan. Let's see. There's nothing I can really do from my end to get you in there. I'll mute you from the thing real quick.
You can hear me over here, though.
Yeah, you're on video. I got you on the video, but your audio won't go through to. What's so funny, George? Why are you laughing?
Because we're having technical difficulties. It's hilarious.
My buddy Marsh, we did his show was called Wrestling on the Rocks, and he called every episode 1 because of technical difficulties, and it couldn't be episode 2 until you get it right. It's fantastic. Shouts to Buffalo. He said, have him relog onto spaces. Look at that, bang, showing comments.
But I need to make you a host, though, and I think
even if
I would have to, the spaces would close out.
Yeah, even if it would close out. Yeah. It's picking up my audio from your spaces.
What's that?
It's picking up my audio from your spaces.
Yeah. But it's not. I'm gonna end the spaces and restart it. So we ended up. That's what we're gonna have to do right now. All right, and then I'm gonna. Okay, so give me a second.
No, it's fine. Anyone on the spaces that wants to hang for a bit, go to Live on the Kaspa and watch us. You know, let me.
You can keep it going over. You can hear me over here though, right?
Yeah. Yep. We're still live.
All right, we're gonna start the spaces now. So.
Yeah, I'll go over to my side of the production here.
Oh.
Did you figure out what happened?
Yeah, the mic was off.
That's it? On your phone? How you turn the mic off on your phone?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
It was the boogeyman.
Or maybe I clicked it on accident and didn't realize it. All right, we're going to be fine with the spaces now. Hold on.
Yeah. All good. All good. Let me get to you as well. Go on to Juan. Do. That's what we can do.
Hello. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Oh, so you get on
voice, yeah. On
okay. On the new space? I'm not seeing the new one though. Did you already set it up?
Yep, I'm on.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
I don't like that.
All right. We in here. Can you hear me? I know they can hear me on the spaces now.
Did we get it? Unmute yourself. Fuck. No, because now it's echoing on my side.
Yeah, I hear the echo.
Mute your laptop.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what it was. It wasn't muted.
We're good now. But you can't hear me on spaces. How about I do this?
I can't hear you on the spaces. I can see your lips moving.
Now? Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Yeah, now we can hear you. We're good.
Let's go. We did it.
There we go. We figured it out, bro.
We did it.
A little 5-minute intermission.
Episode 20 live on the Kaspa Standard. We did it. We're now live on X Spaces. YouTube.com/live on the Kaspa Standard. We are on X live on the Kaspa and vvor.xyz/channel/TW Takes Podcast for your video needs. We are sponsored by Better Melts. Get bettermelts.com for 50% off. Please use the promo code LOTKS.
Yes.
Juan, since on the video version, the first half of this, so appreciate y'all who joined the spaces and those who joined the video earlier. If you guys are on spaces on later, check out our socials and those links I just mentioned for the first half of the show. The one thing we did not do is, how did you live on the Kaspa Standard? You mentioned the Kaspa Standard, and we did talk sovereignty, but specifically Kaspa itself. How'd you live on the Kaspa Standard, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, I haven't been as active on X. So that's just because I'm on this money-making vacation. So bring it back to what it's really about, and that's staying in presence, doing what's in front of me, man. Some character building moments last week, no doubt. I mean, I guess it's only been what, a week and a half now, a week and some change. But yeah, brother, the same practices are in place. So I would say there's a little bit more challenges. Obviously, why we didn't have the show earlier this week on Monday. I got to go see my mom and dad before I left Florida, and I'll be here in Texas for the next, at least through the end of this month. Just honing in, locking in, and we'll be doing the show. We haven't decided if it's going to be Fridays or Mondays yet, or have we? I don't know. You tell me. I think Fridays are nice. We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted on the spaces. There we go.
Sorry, I was doing something. I was checking the volume on YouTube, make sure that they can hear you, and I muted my microphone, so I wasn't actually muted on the spaces. I just hit this button.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It comes up on mute. But anyway, technical bullshit. Where were we?
Yeah, I'm talking about like.
Oh, the show. Yeah, I think we try Monday next week and see how that falls in the line because of how haphazard we kind of got together today, and see if maybe we can make that work. If it doesn't feel right while we're doing it, then I don't see why we can't double up and do Monday and Friday next week. Not the plan, but I think I like Monday. There's a lot of negative energy surrounded around Mondays, and I think we start Mondays off pretty well for those out there, and bring some positivity to Mondays. So I wouldn't mind giving Monday a go next week, and if it doesn't feel right as your new setup is going, then we can lean towards Friday.
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll see how it goes. So I've only been here 4 days.
Yeah.
We'll see. Cool. I mean, like I said, the show is medicine for me, bro. I want to show up and make this at least, something that's very consistent.
Yeah.
And we got to do what we got to do. So.
Yeah, 1,000%. So no Casilla for you, or have you been K-chat with anyone? You
nothing.
No.
I've had conversations with you. I'm dude. My head is down. Like I am.
Yeah.
I made a lot of fiat this week, a lot. So, and I need to make more, so that I could. I'm not a multitasker either. So it's like like I keep talking about, whatever's in front of me is what I do, and that's why I can produce the way I produce. So no, I haven't even really gone on X. I commented on something, like I saw a post that somebody was talking shit about like Kaspa not being decentralized, and I commented on something yesterday, but that was like my first comment in like a week and a half, or no, maybe it was this morning. I don't know, but I don't even. You guys gotta catch me up. Like what's going on? What's happening?
Well,
Bert
is going on a run, man. He's
Bert BRT.
Yeah, he so he's been trying to really go after some Bitcoin maxis from a tell the truth standpoint, and then he did this whole thread asking Grok with product A, product B, and simply with facts and truth, going through the answers. And there's one thing for sure: Grok loves himself some Kaspa. When it comes to truth of numbers, Kaspa is undefeated in a Grok conversation. It's crazy. Yeah, and so yeah, Bert's kind of been the rock star of Twitter this last week.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, he's really been crushing it. Yeah,
he's pretty intense. We had him on I think he came on the last show that we did for Beneath the Surface. So I've never heard him speak, and he said something like, "First time I've spoken, a little nervous." I'm like, bro, but you're on Twitter battling people all the time. Like he was not quite like a Kaspa Onion. And Kaspa Onion's chilled out quite a bit too. But Bert is always like, he has that type of energy when he goes at these guys. Um, I don't necessarily like, I don't agree with a lot, like how it's done, but hey, to each their own. I don't have to agree.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, that's interesting. So he's been the rock star this past week.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I like that. So you're saying, I mean, AI just takes in our information and then you know, regurgitates it out. So it's like if you're giving it facts, it's gonna spit facts out. You
Well,
know.
that's yeah, and that the funny thing when you have those conversations with them, they get accustomed to what has been said to them. So it takes convincing of new facts. It's like so if you you know I'm sure you've done it with the Bitcoin versus Kaspa in AI setting. They get so used to what Bitcoin has sounded like to them that it's hard for them to understand that um, the hash rates are different, you know, that Caspa is secured. Like, okay, then if it's not about hash rate, then how about the amount of miners, you know, the decentralization of miners, you know, shit like that. And they start to kind of understand. But again, you can also paint narratives if you want. So, but no,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
and that's what I see. That's what mainly see that it is, right?
yeah,
It's like, dude, I've experienced this is outside of crypto, of Caspa, Bitcoin. This has been the case. I've seen it in my life for the past, you know, since I've been a working class person. So since my 18, 19 years old, I noticed that with the first opportunity, the first thing that I did, most people would go towards what the crowd would say, what the crowd would do. And then there'd be a handful of people that would like question it and then like actually dig in and get beneath the surface and then be like, oh, by the way, but if you look at it this way, this is actually what it is. Right. And you know, I see that with Bitcoiners, obviously, that that is what they had to be different, right? Like but that's the early Bitcoiners, that adopted it and saw it and took a chance before anybody really fucking knew what it was going to become, the whole decentralization part. So once you understand that, like once you understand the foundational components of that, then that's what it is, right? And to me, I take this into my life. It's like I have a abundance, but also like a growth mindset. Like a growth mindset is like there is nothing that stays stagnant, right? And technologies are technologies. We're dying a little bit every single day. We're growing, you know, but you know, my point is, bro, that that's the biggest difference in being able to be open to something like Caspa. Because if you're set in your ways, if you're attached, and I've spoken to this, if you're attached, like you're never there's nothing that you're going to say that's going to change that other person's mind, right? So like even, you know, obviously in my experience in sales, and I can speak on a couple conversations that I had this week, it's like if I'm trying to tell you what something is, you're not going to listen to me the same way versus me asking you questions so that you can get there on your own and you tell yourself the things the way that you need to tell yourself. So I think that approach that's what's gotten me to get some of my Bitcoin friends to be like, oh, okay, shit. Oh, but I thought there couldn't be anything else that was decentralized. I thought that nothing else could be fair launched. Oh, but Jonathan's still around. Okay. Like, have you studied Bitcoin? Have you seen why Satoshi left? There's so many narratives and all these stories and some of these beautiful fucking stories, bro. Like the romanticizing of why, you know, there's somebody out there, I'm not going to say his name, but like he's very well known because of how Satoshi's been romanticized, like this mythical creature. And oh, Bitcoin came from, I don't know, who knows if it did. But the bottom line is like when you look at the actual facts and you actually take the time to go study the history of how Bitcoin even came about, like it didn't start with Bitcoin.
right.
There were other technologies that, you know, Adam Back was mentioned in the white paper. He tried a couple of things beforehand, right? Cryptography didn't start in 2009, but like that's the narrative that we hear because most people aren't going to go back and take the time, don't have the time to go back that far and dig that deep. So, you know, we've talked about it on this show. It's like, yeah, this is called live on the Kaspa standard, but it could be called live on the sovereignty standard. With us, it's an idea to a bigger picture here, right? So there isn't going to be just one singularity or hyper Bitcoinization. Like that's just insane for that's not what it is right now. We're not even close to that.
We're not.
We're not even close to any of that.
not.
So going back to like, oh, what is it? You know, being in presence. What's happening right now? How can I use it? Yeah. Let's take that. I need to take a look at what Bert did, but that'd be interesting. Be like, okay, you don't know the names of it. Here's what this one does. Here's what this one does. Choose. It's the same shit I do with like a wallet.
Yeah.
Have you use a Bitcoin wallet? Use a Kaspa wallet. You don't know that it's called Bitcoin or Kaspa. Which one are you gonna pick? Like, it's not even. There's no competition, bro. They stand on their own. They're different things, but one evolved from the other. So, yeah, brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's we don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but you know, we're completely aligned there. Again, it is how does the true meaning of cryptocurrency continue to exist? And, you know, I just, the thing that really baffles me the most is the cheering of the centralization and hoarding of the Bitcoin, right? Like the people who file a sale and they're like, yeah, he just bought another million Bitcoin. It's like, why do you as an enthusiast want,
like, why do you care? What does that do for you?
Right. And how does it help you? How does it help you stay decentralized if you know you can never get any more and can barely use it? I don't understand that concept. And then you're cheering for the ability to leverage it for fiat. I thought we're trying to get away from fiat, right? I thought peer-to-peer digital cash is supposed to be a thing, right? Like I just so when I see stuff like that, again, it does make me happy because they don't talk about Kaspa that way. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, well, just keep doing it with those. Keep doing it with those. Take your Ethereum, take your Solana, take your Bitcoin, take your eCash, take your Bitcoin Cash, and keep doing those conversations with those, because again, when you see, you know, what Kaspa's technology is capable of, we're so early, right? We're kind of in a conversational holding game until Covenants comes out, right? Because what's being built is all that can be built. You know, there's some another chat app coming up now. I apologize, I forget what it's called, but another one coming up where the pictures back and forth. You can send pictures now.
You can send pictures now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And these guys are continuing to take what Cassia was, and they're using the rails of that to now help it explode. And we got to shout out, fuck. I'm foggy for a Friday. What the fuck is his name?
You need more coffee,
Izio
bro.
Dev. No, I took a Focus Melt. I took a Focus Melt, and I'm trying. Okay, go to getbettermelts.com. I took a quarter of it. Maybe I should have took a half.
Yeah.
Getbettermelts.com, promo code LOTKS for your Focus Melts, 50% off. Izio Dev created Cassia messaging, right? And thank you for doing that. And it appears he's applauding everyone else taking the basis of what that is and building these next things like K-Chat and the, you know, Casanova, and integrating it as well, and these other ones coming up. So like, yeah, this is important stuff that's happening, and watching the ability to decentralize this way. I mean, the only thing we're waiting for while using these things is the independentness, right? Because I've said it a million times about Bitcoin. The second that they unplug them, it's done, right? Like just unplug the miners. Guess what? No more Bitcoin. You're done, right? You need energy and you need internet for these things to exist. So can you have a pure proof of work system that you can generate both of those without relying on previous infrastructure? So solar panels, right? You know, the space node, like Starlink is the only one that seems to be satellite internet. But can we create something that is now helping with that infrastructure, so we're not on the grid. I don't know, you know, and I'm kind of just talking out of my ass right now, but that's kind of been my issue with crypto from the beginning, right? Is like, in order for this to exist, as much as you want to call it decentralized, you still have to plug it into a socket, which the existence of that is centralized, and you still need to plug it into the internet. The existence of that is centralized, right? So who's providing you internet, right? Is it Xfinity? Is it Verizon? Is it Spectrum? Is it, you know, whoever? Your internet's coming from somewhere else. You don't just find internet, you know? So just shit like that I think about, that as much as we want to say like, hey, we have all the decentralized answers. Okay, good luck doing that without some company providing you with your electricity, some company without providing you your internet, you know?
Interesting. Yeah, man, that's a good point that you bring there. Yeah, and I mean, but from what I've seen, like the whole concept of Dag Night and going to 100 blocks. I know there's a hard fork coming on May 5th, right? That's for covenants. But the one that's potentially coming later on in the third quarter, right? That's going to be for the upgrade of potentially 32 blocks. I don't know. Again, it's like the dev team, the core team, that they're building for things that aren't necessarily problems. They're future proofing the network, is how we see it, and it's just a little too early for most people to even care about it, right? So Gonzo talked about that last week when he came on,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know, Bitcoin was ahead of its time, and you know, right now Kaspa is like really ahead of its time. But if you look at, again, if you just take the information for what any of these cryptos can do, and the proof of work ones that are decentralized, secure, bounded by energy, fair launched, I mean, you choose, use it, and you tell me.
Right.
I don't need to say anything. There's no I don't need to convince. There's none of that. Like, use it yourself and you tell me. Right? Oh no, you're gonna come with, oh, but this and that, and then you start. Then that's when, you know, when you start pointing to shit outside of what you just saw and what you just experienced, then you know that there's attachment to your bags, to the story. Those are distinctions I learned in Landmark. The story versus what it is. What you talked about, right? It's like when you were sharing earlier. It's just like, yeah, shit. I realize, you know, for me, I've shared that I fought my foster mom, right? But I like legally divorced my parents when I was 17, and it was freeing, but it was heavy because it was like, now I'm responsible. Now I have to prove, like, the attitude that I took was I have to prove my dad wrong, just be a better man than him. And a lot of people achieve a lot like going through life that way, but I realized, like, damn, I'm going to carry that into everything that I do. You know, so once I realized, like, oh shit, like, what's a different perspective? So, you know, sharing that to say it's the same thing with this. It's like when you get the extreme maximalism on either side, because
Yeah.
it's here in Caspa too.
Yeah.
When you
sure.
get that on either side and anywhere, it's because you're attached to your fucking story, and like you're expecting the specific outcome. You know, and I think you miss out on what it can be as a whole when you go there, right? Like you miss out on what it can be, and you're not experiencing what is. So,
Well, and that's why we always start with sovereignty. That's why we always start with, you know, what does it look like from in here? Because a noun to an idea, right? Kaspa, noun to an idea. Bitcoin, noun to an idea. And the things that are always going to change are on the outside. It's always going to look different. Something new is always going to pop up. I mean, you're in Texas, right? You've done this show from London. You've done it from Miami. You did Beneath the Surface from Colombia. Like, but it's still
yeah, that's
you.
pretty dope. I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
it's still you. You were the constant, and you were the thing that needed to be hardened and structured and disciplined and sovereign in your own space, because as much as everything else is going to change around you, Bitcoin, Kaspa, Ethereum, whatever the fuck, back to fiat. Let's say all crypto gets banned tomorrow. Guess what? We need fucking fiat.
I'm good.
Like, yeah, like you still need to be you.
Yeah. No, what we would still figure it out, man. Like
that's why this show, as much as it is live on the Kaspa Standard, it always starts with sovereignty. It always starts with sovereignty.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I like the little tree that I put behind me, the tree of life and the 7 chakras. But it goes back to, man, like I really don't, I haven't said this in a while, I don't think, but I do see everybody as a reflection of me, and that really has hit home this week as I've been in presence and in being and doing what I've had to do. But I know that I'm not separate from the enemy, from the person that disagrees with me. And that person sees himself as separate. So that's why I can have peace in the chaos and not like bring myself down to that energy, right? I know that, okay, they're just not there yet. Maybe won't ever be there in this lifetime. But I know that this is just and I'm what have I said? And I love Jim Carrey's the one that said it. I once thought I was a man experienced in the world. I now know that I'm a man, that I'm the world experiencing a man. And that's beneath the surface shit, bro. That's 25 years in this work. So I know not everybody gets that. And they're like, what the fuck is he talking about? There's probably some of that out there. That's okay. That's all right. Like it's like I don't need any of this shit. I don't need Kaspa to go to fucking $1. I said it before when Kaspa was at like 14, 15 cents. I was like, yeah, Kaspa can go to 0. I'm gonna get the same, you're gonna get the same fucking person. Because something else will pop up. If it's not better than Kaspa, like I said, to me, I don't. And again, we don't measure it in. I've gotten to that place. You've gotten there too, where it's like it's not about the denomination in dollars. That's a whole nother fucking game and concept. That it's not. There's no. You have to go find this information, or when it presents itself, you have to be open to hearing it. And if you already have all and you're a know-it-all. We're in we talked about this. Like I'm back in this. I've been a know-it-all. I've been there. I've gone in and out of that type of mindset. But like I'm in the season of mastery. You're never a master of every little area of your life. So that's for the rest of my life. Like I will be open. I can learn from somebody. Like there's people that I'm getting, reoriented with the sales stuff. And they're younger than me. These guys are like, I'm like, wow. I'm learning a lot here from some young peeps. If I was this stubborn old man, 44, but I've done this before. There's people that operate like I've done this shit before. I know what I'm doing, but it doesn't. But why isn't it? Oh man, it used to be this way. I don't talk that way, bro. I'm like, what is it right now? Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never sold this stuff. What do I need to do? And I don't give a shit how old you are. If you're giving me information that's going to help me right now, like I don't care.
Yep.
Give it to me, So that's the difference, bro. That's why I've been able to be in London, Colombia. Where else was I? Oh, Miami.
Now in Texas. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna keep expanding this, bro.
Why not?
I'm here for the end of the month. I said it was gonna be a nomad year. It's just, again, I'm not attached to the outcome. This is how it's working out.
Yeah. Well, you can only control what you can control, and if you try to map it out the way you wanted to, that's where the anxiety would come in, because you're not accomplishing this goal that didn't have to happen anyway. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I find that to be, very, very freeing to just slow the fuck down and sit in front of you. It's hard because, in a fiat world where the bills are due, it's like, okay, now we figured out how to make our bills sit a little cleaner as far as my wife and I. And it's like, so I just had to talk her down from a ledge yesterday, because things aren't looking the way that they feel like they should. And I sent her the video that you sent me, the last one by David Bear. And because he speaks on that. Yeah. And he speaks on the fact that sitting right here, you can't control tomorrow. You might be able to execute a step to put you in that space, so it'd be foolish to just throw it away, which would have been something I would have liked to hear him say that. Like if my bill is due or I have a problem next Friday, it can't necessarily just be next Friday's problem. You know what I mean? Because like you might have to make a couple dollars so you can feed your family. You know, and we're gonna run out of food on Friday. Okay, then go shopping on Wednesday. Like that's gonna help you prepare. You know, like,
Or I mean, like if you're in the if what I get was like when you're in the moment, right? And let's say, okay, let's give that example. You have that problem and it's coming up for next Friday. Like there's nothing you can do to change that that's a problem. All you can do is accept that that is what it is. So so non-resistance to that is like, okay, that's an issue, right? And if you're in presence and you're being real about what needs to happen, now you take action on what needs to happen. Because if that's a problem today, that came from the actions that you took prior to that led you to that moment. So I think that's what I get from him.
Gotcha.
That has been beautiful. So it's not about not being in inaction. It's like, again, you can relate this to anything. You know, oh, that's what they used to say to me. It is what it is, right? That whole thing. So if you just accept that that is an issue and then you feel it, okay, I don't want to feel that again. Okay. Now you've let that go. You've accepted it's a problem. Now you got to take action. So it's always the people that are in action, you know, and I've seen this a lot, bro. I've seen a lot of smart ass people, smart, intelligent people that are fucking broke, that are in just difficult situations because they just sit there and thought all day long. I don't know. I mean, that's when money gets tight for me. Like when I'm thinking too damn much and I'm not taking action.
So
it hasn't been tight. It hasn't been tight in a long time, but yeah,
it's more having those things lead to inaction. That is the issue.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That. So
because what you do, because if there's inaction, you're actually in resistance of accepting that is an issue. Right. But if you accepted it, you're like, okay, there's nothing you can't change what just happened. But now okay, like what's the desire? Why I want that bill to get paid. So now it's like, I don't know what that is. I got to make a phone call, man. Is there money over here? You know, like that's the difference.
Okay. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, man, you're getting you in my head on how I know I hear some of that shit different because I've heard it. I've heard it, but bro, like it's like anything, right? When I'm sure this has happened to you. It's like you watch a movie the second time, the third time, like you pick up things. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with this messaging, bro. Like a lot of this is, he says a lot of the same things on a lot of his shorter videos.
So do we.
We do. Well, that's what it needs to be. There's going to be people like, oh, they're saying the same shit. Like, of course, but what are you picking up from it?
Yeah.
What are you picking up and what are you learning from it? Because it is a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same concepts, and it's practicing these concepts and being consistent with it. That's all it is. Like this isn't magic, or we're talking about shit the way it is.
No, 1,000%, love it. What do you say? We got 40 minutes left today. You want to open the floor?
Let's do it.
All right, let's invite you guys up. While we're doing that, remember to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. I'm at LOTKS.kas. Juan is at Glitchin888. The show is at liveonthekaspastandard.kas. We're over on YouTube. Please like and subscribe over on youtube.com/liveonthekaspastandard. We're also on vivor.xyz/channel/TWTakes podcast. Also, if you want to send energy exchange donations to LOTKS.kas or liveonthekaspastandard.kas, that is for Juan and I to help feel the love back from the show that we are sending out. That nice energy exchange, a big reflection of what this show is for all of us. Also, getbettermelts.com, promo code LOTKS for 50% off. But yeah, man, I think I think having these conversations and repeating them, it's important because like what we do with our voice notes, it's a big reason why we voice note back and forth is to get this out. And I don't want to say reinforce the ideas, but it kind of just harnesses the notion of it lends wonder to what you think is fact. Like, let's say we're talking about, entrepreneurship, right? And then, hey, I got this thing, I'm doing that and this, and then you go, okay, but that business model might go this way, and then it doesn't turn into entrepreneurship, but it stays as an idea. And then we continue just talking about the idea, and then that idea then shows up somewhere else. And continuing to talk about these things is what ended up, truthful, putting this show together the way it looks. That's how this got here. So as we talk about Kaspa, as we talk about sovereignty, it's going to show up in other ways, but it also helps us solidify what we're talking about so we can be better orators for the community. We can be better orators for a sovereign standpoint. Because to be fair, and I'll give her credit again, Kara's the one who actually helped me learn what the idea of sovereignty truly is. I've always heard it in textbooks and read about things and stuff like that, but the actual interpretation of what sovereignty is, she sparked the idea, and then talking to you and looking through, what other people think sovereignty is. Kaspa Silver is a big one who speaks about sovereignty.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just clicked, between me and you. And then we had this mental sovereignty thing that broke together. And for like 2 months, we just kept like bouncing back and forth, like seesawing back and forth on this same idea, trying to how can we speak about it? And all of a sudden it lands at this show. And bang, that's why sovereignty is such a big thing about what this show is understanding that it's not just a name in which crypto can provide, right? Like even
No, it
a sovereign
isn't.
aspect of your fiat or your money, yeah, that's great, but you're still tethered, and trying not to be tethered while operating, in my opinion, is what true sovereignty is.
Yeah, man, because we're born into a system. And then if most people don't have awareness around it, right? Like think about the argument with why it's okay that Bitcoin ossified at the base layer and is limited in transactions, and then it's not a big deal. Like okay, cool, that's how it is. But there's some of us that dig a little bit deeper, have gone beneath the surface, and why can't we make this better? And why do I have to ask permission? When I found the beautiful concept of what was in the Bitcoin white paper, an electronic peer-to-peer cash system, and I take that another layer deeper, because you're right. It's not just crypto for me. It's like I feel like I was before Bitcoin was here and any of that. Like as soon as I got my foster parents, and they started to ask me, well, what do you think? Why do you think that? How do you look at it that way? Why do you look at it that way? Like that's where it starts. So it starts like with you and your thoughts and how you think about things and how you process stuff and how we easily just give our power away and our attention away, and then it's really easy. Like our attention's captured. I mean, you see it everywhere, bro. You see it especially at the airports. I don't judge people as much anymore for it. I'll kind of like walk up and but even on the way here, I like the person I did not onboard her. It did not go that way. But I had a great conversation. I ended up watching a movie with the person I met on the plane ride over here. And you could tell like she was a pretty free spirit type of person. So yeah, man, it's just like a lot of people are just in their heads, like they're and a lot of the things that we see, what's in the mass media and what's being shown and the stuff that's popular, the things that people gravitate to, it's like they gravitate towards the crowd, and the crowd still wants to be led down some bullshit. So you have to want to see what's on the other side of things. And yeah, sovereignty speaks to that. So it's not just about these cryptos. It's about like how can you navigate your life, and understand and like be able to channel your energy in a way where it's not going to be taken from you. And yeah, I think you can do that in all areas of your life, bro.
Yeah, 1,000%, 1,000%. And it's just up to you to figure out what that feels like, and then entertain allowing that to enter those other spheres. You know, you have
And
to free yourself that way. Go ahead.
what I was gonna say is like what is exciting because like again I talk about for me the sovereignty started when I met my foster family where I was like I was used to I grew up in a house where like I'm told what to do and when to do it and even football like that was my foundation I call it. It's like you don't ask questions, you're told what to do. And the players that ask too many questions, like they would, especially back then when I played, it's like we had some talented kids that like did not make the team because like they didn't take direction from authority. It's a different game nowadays. But that is what opened up the door for me to be like, oh no, okay, I can choose it. And then the career path that I chose, right? Like sales. It's not nobody tells me like, hey, here's what you got to do and when you got to do it. It's like, nope, nope. Okay, what do I want? What is my goal? Okay, now I create the structure. Okay, so like again, it's more like what a decentralized program protocol is, where it's from the top. You're building from from the bottom down up, right? Like it's not top down. You're not taking these orders. You're literally creating from the bottom up is what I meant. Yeah, so from the bottom up, and that's been my life. So it's like when I understood Bitcoin, I'm like, oh shit, this is like an economic tool where I can store my money and my value, and it's the way I've been living for all this time. So it was like, so people talk about like being orange pilled or green pilled. Like, no, it was way before that for me. It was way before that. I was just so like with Bitcoin, I was like, oh shit, this kind of aligns with how I've been living my life. And then when I keep asking the questions, I'm like, oh, but you're going to take me out of my sovereignty. You're going to take me out of oh, now I'm forced to not to transact the way I want to transact. I have to jump and ask for permission, or I have to, like there's a sovereign way to do it, I guess, with Bitcoin, but that's extra steps. Yeah, so then that's why Kaspa showed itself. So yeah, bro, it all plays into all of this, is how I see it.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I never felt the need to worry about my money. Like the until until I was liquidating my 401ks, trying
Mm.
to stay, afloat after losing my job. Like then I was like, oh shit, 2 weeks to get my money, 3 weeks to get my money. This is crazy. And I already paid taxes on it. Like this is what are you doing? And seeing what that's like, it's like, oh, okay, you don't have access to it. Now again, I'm still in that camp of, well, what do you do with it though? So like, if all my money's in Kaspa, well, what do I do with it? I can't go to the grocery store and buy my groceries with it. So, well, I need my fiat then. Well, as long as I need my fiat, then it needs to be in a place where fiat needs to be, right? It needs to be in a bank account or what have you. So I've had one bank account down here. I have a few, but one of them I've had since I was 17. So like for 24 years. When I tell them my bank account number, they're like, "Damn, you've been here with us for a while." So
Oh yeah.
yeah, whatever number they're on, because it's a small credit union, and they built themselves out. When I first signed up with them, there was only one branch. My stepmom went to work for them. That's kind of what happened. So I signed up with them, and they had one branch. Now they have like 6 in the area over the last 24 years. But my point in saying that is like, I found an institution that I trust, and there's my money to spend my bills. But as we've talked about in the show, I think in this digital age, it's full. And to be fair, like when's the last time someone gave you cash or you actually had cash? Like so you're making these deals over the phone, right? Does anyone send you a giant briefcase full of cash?
Yeah.
When you made your $250,000 was it in a month? You made $250,000.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
done
so
that.
was any of that on paper, or was it all
No.
digitally? Right, like
All digital. All digital.
so. Like my confusion over people's hype when it comes to any cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Kaspa, whatever. We've been digitally transacting money forever, for the longest fucking time. What's the first thing people do? And so you probably haven't done this ever, but whenever you go get a real job, not that yours isn't real, but whenever you do a 9 to 5 or you work, you work in these companies, the very first thing they ask you to do is sign up for direct deposit.
Yeah, is that what they do now?
Yeah. They want you to sign up there, or they'll give you a link to the app, so you put in your information yourself. So that
Bro, the last I did the last I worked at Winn-Dixie when I was like 16, 17. And they gave me a paper check. I had to come pick up the paper check.
Yeah. You can still get paper stubs if you want, but even those are digital now. All your money's digital. And then when you spend it, it's the swipe of a plastic card or a tap to pay. You never see your money. You never see it. It's all digital. So when this whole peer-to-peer digital cash thing came up, it's like, well, yeah, that's what Cash App is. Well, but it's not. Well, it is. It is. I can send you money from my bank account right now, and it's peer-to-peer digital. Now, is it clean and sovereign and all that stuff? No. But does it have infrastructure to where it's not going to fail because this is the ecosystem that exists? Yes, it is. But when you look at the world and you factor in the players and all these things, I am here because of the sovereign nature of what most likely will need to happen at some point, right? I used to say this about a few things. Well, basically about our phones, right? We got our phones. They're tracking you. Okay. Do you say that to everybody that you know? Do you say that to everyone that you see? Okay. So out of 330 million people in the United States that they're tracking, why are they coming after me?
Exactly.
Why are they coming after me? I don't give them a reason to. I'm fine. Do I want them tracking me? No. Do I think they even looked at me once? No. There's too many people. There's too many people. Now, it doesn't mean I have to fall foolish and let it slide and not be aware and all that stuff. No. I'm aware. I'm careful. There's definitely some things I don't say over the phone. There's definitely things I don't text to people, just in case. And that's fine. That's fine. I'll save that for Cassia messaging, right? But in all honesty, we've been digitally transacting. We've been monitored and all that stuff. In truth, I feel like, yes, at the end of the day, we do need to prepare ourselves to have some type of sovereign assets, right? I don't want them taking my houses because they feel like they can. I don't want them taking my money because they feel like they can. Okay. What commitment do I still need to operate in? For instance, like you said, money-making vacation, right? You're not in a Kaspa stacking vacation. You're in a money-making vacation.
Yeah. I use the languaging that works for me.
Yeah, but it's
my sovereignty.
But it needs to be fiat associated.
Sure. No, absolutely. Yeah, it does.
And the second it's not going to be, what does that look like? And that's why we're here. That's the Kaspa standard. Is right now the Kaspa standard is the most sovereign nature of what it looks like when all these things go to shit more than they already have. And we could have the intellectual conversation. I love when Buffalo comes up and he's talking about the devalue of the dollar over the last, it was 25% over the last 4 years or some shit like that. That's important. And I agree. So finding something more sound, more sovereign, by all means, yes, please, let's do that. But I think part of something you mentioned before with maxis on all sides, we get obsessed with what we would like this to serve us, what we would like this to prepare us to have. And as you've mentioned, what is? And what is right now is Kaspa's early as fuck. It's the best tech around when it comes to cryptocurrency, digital cash, any metric that you stack it up against. There's zero proof of work metrics that it's not number one in. Okay. I will save the rest of my non-fiat needs in Kaspa. And when the time comes, I'll be ready. That's it. Now, I definitely want to see some cool shit happen along the way, right? Cassia messaging, K-Social, Vivor. Show us some more cool shit. It's not peer-to-peer cash. you know. Cast map, you know, Seb's in here, you know. I know what Banana's building isn't Kaspa specific, but you know, has a lot of Kaspa utility to it, and that's just it's fucking, I don't know, man. It's just so cool. It's so cool, and it's the most sovereign version of what we can have. But you still got to live fiat. You know, you don't have to obsess about it, but you still have to live it. And if you're fiat sovereign, like you used to be,
yeah, no, that's the truth.
If you're fiat sovereign, then you can play a little bit more over in the world. And that's why I get excited about some of these people. I won't mention their names, but some of these people that we kind of know who are fiat sovereign can give us the true wealth of what Kaspa has to offer.
But who's really fiat sovereign, bro? Because that was something that was talked about last year when Bitcoin was at the nominal price that it is now. I don't hear them talking about that shit now. They're not, because it went down 60%. I mean, it's up a little bit now, but you know, there are people that bought Bitcoin at 120, and if you went all in, you know, like you're 50% of what you had is down.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I just remember some of those guys talking, and for me, it took this and putting as much as I did into it, both Kaspa and Bitcoin. Most of it was in Kaspa, to be like, okay, cool. You know, the good thing is like I'm somebody who can gather myself and go out and make money. But there's a lot, you know, like so I think of the messaging out there in terms of, you know, Sailor would say, and I'll call him out. Like put everything into, you know, he says put everything into Bitcoin that you can't afford to lose. Like that is a dangerous message. That is not a healthy message to be telling people. Like Sailor was a multi fucking millionaire. He doesn't know what the everyday working class person has to go through.
Right.
And he's far separated from that, right? So it's like that's what people are missing, and that's what we fucking need to speak to, you know. And that's part of this show is like being fucking real with everybody. Like, yeah, I was 100% in on like Kaspa and Bitcoin. That isn't like we're just not there. Like, because if these volatilities fucking do what they do, especially if you have a good chunk of money and like your expenses are at a certain amount, it's different for everybody, right? But it's like, yeah, I was coasting for a bit, right? I was like, I had enough fucking in reserves, I thought, for a long time, you know, and then it fucking hits and like, oh shit, I gotta do something. So that speaks to the whole proof of work aspect of this, right? You know, and like that messaging is like, put me in a fucking room with anybody who talks that way, and I want to be like, all right, how much? Like, do you really have money? What are you talking about, bro? You're speculating. You're talking fucking bullshit. You know, so yeah, that was a lesson these past 6 months. You know, and I think it's important to fucking speak on what is, not this whole put everything you can't afford to lose into. No, you do that, you will be on your fucking. There will be, you know, what is, I haven't even looked at I don't, what is Kaspa at right now? I have no idea.
I don't know.
But it will, let's say it will fucking go up to 10 cents. Like there's a chance it could drop back down to 50, you know, 5 cents.
Right.
You know, and like that's the game that way too many fucking people are playing, and people are talking on that. Those are the people that are getting the listens, the follows, and all that shit in this ecosystem. And it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, bro. Like they're not fucking speaking truth. They're trying to get clicks and likes and get paid for the crap that they're saying.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%. There was something you mentioned there that I want to click back to, and then you brought the price up. Because as soon as you said price, I just thought about everyone who posts the chart where they put like the wedge on it and they go, it's about to break out, right?
Oh, that's the most annoying fucking post.
It's like, well, if you did that 6 months ago, it would have looked like this. You know what I mean? And if you do that in 6 months from now, it's going to look like this. And look, I'm not a stock guy. I know, Buffalo plays in that world too, and he could.
I wouldn't be your friend if you were, bro. We wouldn't talk if you were.
But the idea of thinking.
I'm kidding.
No, I know. The idea of thinking that you know what's going to happen tomorrow when you didn't guess what happened yesterday is just it's foolish. It's foolish. And again, we're not chart watchers. I buy my $10 every day. You know, again, I set up X amount of days for it to buy every day at $10. And I think I got 326 this morning. So 326 means it was a hair above 3 cents. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know, if it drops down to a penny, guess what? That means I get 1,000 of them when I put $10 in there. That's cool. You know, like I just don't put the weight on it anymore. I used to chart watch. It drove me fucking nuts. And I think that's where, oh fuck, I lost it again. But it had to do with the chart watching of it. It's like that's a lack of sovereignty, right?
Yeah, it is.
Wishing for the home run. Oh, proof of work. Okay, so you brought up proof of work.
Mm-hmm.
Proof of work is what helps a cryptocurrency be bound by energy, right? Okay, that's what helps secure the cryptocurrency. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work for you. You have to put in the proof of your own work. Because if you ape in, as they say, right? That's the term. If you ape in, put everything in there and think that the coin is going to do the work for you, that's not proof of work. You need the proof of your own work. Your work needs to be worth something. Proof of work is just what the token does to secure itself, not the other way around.
Right.
Work for you. You still need to do proof of work.
Yeah, like you might get that in, because there are people that are successful with the trading and all that, but you're staking something and you're speculating.
Yes.
And you're hoping and wishing. And I know there's these Fibonacci. There's some things that are like based on nature, like the Fibonacci stuff. And I remember looking into that. And I think there is some truth with some of that. But one of the sayings that people say is like, it's not about time in the market, it's time in the market. And that speaks to what this is, right? Especially in proof of work protocols. It's like if you're putting all your money in there and you're just sitting back and not doing shit, you will be brought to your knees. You will be humbled. At some point, you will be humbled. Because these again, we haven't had anything like this that trades 24/7 and is denominated in dollars all throughout the world. And we got people like Seb's out in the Netherlands, and like this is connecting all of us in terms of what this protocol is. And yeah, you're right. It's like you have to put in the proof of work in some capacity, and we have to operate in the fucking fiat world. I say it like that because it's like I'm not happy about that, but I have to accept it.
Yeah.
Or else, well, it's going to keep persisting. So let me accept it and work towards it, the future that I desire. And I'll play this game, be real about where I'm at, and I'll keep playing it. It's cool, but it's at the end of the day, for me, it is a game. And money does come. We're not going to take any of this shit with us when we're done. So I'm trying to live it up as best as I can, be real, go through the peaks, the valleys with people I want to be around, and that's it, bro. That's it. Share it with the people that you care about and love, man. That's what this shit's about.
1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, this has been just such a laid back episode today. It's a great recentering from what we've gone through this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm trying to. I mean, you guys hear it and see it. Like I'm trying to get all my thoughts together, and I'm not really in tune with how I usually am, and I think it's just because of the valleys. We're climbing up to a new peak, and I was working on the headlights for my truck, and 11:30 hit, and I was like, shit, I got to eat something and get the thing going. I still got one more wire to fix, and then I got to take it to inspection and all these things, and that's life. But it feels good to know that, I don't have to like rely on everyone for everything, and I can take a break and not feel behind, and I can accomplish small things. Dude, the door handle in my truck has been broken forever. It's just an old truck, so it's a plastic handle, and it popped off on the inside. So I have to roll the window down, old school, right, and then pop the latch on the outside to open the door. Well, for the 80-degree days that we had 3 days in a row, it snowed yesterday. So I went and picked up my son at the bus stop. We get out the car, and I popped the door handle, and he goes, "What?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I fixed it yesterday." He goes, "Oh, man." Like, he was just so excited. And I was like, yeah, I don't mean it this way, but like, I wish I was that excited when I fixed it, like, 'cause I struggled with it for so long.
Yeah.
I did finally fix it. I was like, cool. And now, of course, every time the last 3 times I went to get out the truck, I go to roll the window down, and I was like, oh, I don't have to. And then I pop the latch, and so like, I say that to say, like, the excitement I wish I had right now was what my son had when the handle was fixed. But the excitement I have right now is like, I just feel glad that the handle's fixed, right? And that's kind of how I feel on the show right now. Like, so I don't want to think that like I'm bringing the energy down or anything like that. It's just kind of how I feel, man. I kind of feel very neutral and trying to make the show work today, and I think we did. It's been fantastic to regroup, recenter, and really figure out that like the way we're moving through the Kaspa standard and finding these sovereign moments to harness our own level 10. It's just that's what feels good. That's what feels good.
Yeah, bro. We're here, bro. We're showing up. Half the battle is showing up, right? Like, we've been out of it for a week and some change. And yeah, man, we're here. We're here. So that's all that really fucking matters. Seb just requested. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Seb, what up?
Hey guys, nice to talk to you again.
Yes, it's been a while, Seb. How you doing, brother?
I'm very busy myself as well. So I'm working hard, both in my day job and as well as for CashMap and MyKai, the study buddy, the first chatbot that I made. I'm doing a rebuild, and it's taking all my time. So I'm not really active on X or something at this moment, or in the chat. I'm just grinding from early morning till late in the night. So yeah, that's a little bit of my life at this moment. So, but I thought let's just request the mic and have a quick chat with you guys.
Yeah, man, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. It's been a while since we had a chance to talk to you. Been busy over here, like, I'm like I've mentioned a handful of times, I'm making vacations, so I haven't really been on X much. And yeah, man.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, we all have to put in our work.
Yes, especially now. Right now is the time to build and work. So yeah, you're doing it. We're doing it. That's all we can do.
Can you speak a little more on MyKai?
Yeah, sure. Well, MyKai, that I made that last year after the Bitcoin debates. There were several people who were asking about several Bitcoiners who were asking about Kaspa, and I found myself digging up the same resources every time, and I got.
Oh no!
I'm still here.
Yep,
we got you.
Here. We can hear you now.
Okay, let me see, because somebody's calling. Wait, now it's gone. Wait. Give me a moment. It's not just somebody. It's my wife.
Yeah.
Let me message her for a moment. So just let her know that I'm in a call. So yeah, so I was thinking this needs to scale and to be automated. So I made MyKai. MyKai has served over 1,000 questions since September, I think. I released it. So that was that's nice. It is still in use, but not that much, I must say. but still, I like the principle, the idea behind it. But I had it on a third-party application, and that's especially if I want to expand it, it would become very expensive. So already it was like 200 euros per month or so just to host the thing. So I thought it's a little bit crazy. If I want to expand it, it will become exponential more expensive. So I thought I will build it myself and host it in my own environment, so that then I can share the costs amongst different applications. So and I can do a lot more of it. And currently, it's rather hard to do. To be honest, I am making several agents with each their own use case. One for quick answers for people who have no clue about crypto in general. So without the jargon, just plain English. Then I have more of a generalistic version for people who are knowledgeable, at least for the basics of crypto. And then I have one. It's like a tutor. Also with the students for kudos that they can learn about Kaspa. So it's one agent that is patient and will be explaining all about Kaspa step by step. Then I also have a research. It's the researcher, I call it. That's for the students who are more advanced, like master students or maybe PhD students, who want to have a specialized Kaspa bot to find the articles, but also to learn more and very well cited information. Maybe also to just exchange thoughts with it. And then I also have one that is very hands-on. It's a coder bot. Well, I have 3 bots in that area. One is an architect. It's thinking of the whole of the whole code, the whole application, and also how it fits, especially if it's if, for instance, if it's going multi-chain or from L1, L2, or if it's in another application, so it can see the bigger picture, or if it's a complicated code. And then the coder, but which is more hands-on, that I just talked about as well, that can just do coding, Kaspa coding, also SilverScript, and I'm putting in also for Casplex and Igra Labs. I'm just putting in the whole Kaspa ecosystem really, and I have let it done some things, and it's looking rather good, even though I'm missing a lot of information still. I still need to how to say it? I need to ingest more, but it's already for instance, I was trying to see if it could create a tap up like wallet, like I can pay with my own debit card from the bank every day for 50 euros. That's standard here in the Netherlands. And after the 50 euros, I have to put in my PIN code. But the first 50 I can just spend if I tap somewhere. And I thought, it would be nice if I also could have a wallet that has also the option to withdraw up to 50 euros or so per day. So the architect wrote it, or the grand design, and the coder wrote it, and yeah, from the looks of it, it could work. So that was very very nice to see. And then I also have a bug hunter, and that's just looking for the edge cases, is poking holes into the code. And well, the three of those together, they can come up with rather solid code. It won't be perfect the first time. You need really to do iterations. You really have to look at it. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. So.
Wow.
And I hope to publish it last week, but that didn't happen. So maybe next week. But as I said, I'm very busy. So yeah. So that's a new addition, and I'm trying to create this ecosystem around Kaspa with everything that I have, that it supports each other, and we are almost there. After this will have two new applications to it, and then it's done, and then nothing nothing new will be added to it. Only everything that is already there will be strengthened, and but it will all be helping each other. So that's very nice. I think, at least in my vision, it's a complementary software that helps with the spread and usage of Kaspa, and also the layer 2 and everything that will be built on it. So yeah, that's about it.
Working, man. Seb's over here building, integrating stuff, and keeping busy, bro. So
yeah,
really appreciate that, brother. And doing the same over here. I want to definitely contribute to cast maps when the time is right. And I think there will be major opportunity there, right? And maybe it's when I don't know when, but I do think there's going to be major opportunity to onboard people. There'll be easier times to do it too,
yeah.
Like that. Yeah, the conversation has definitely shifted for me since I started in July with getting people to get on a wallet. So yeah,
yeah, I think so too. I mean, in general, people are looking
they're gonna look at the
towards
chart.
other
They're gonna look
things.
at the chart, right? They're gonna look at the price and be like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah, but it went down. Look at that's what the
yeah.
first thing people pop up."
But
So you
I
got
must say, some
Mhm.
people that didn't participate the last cycle are now eyeing again. So the people who got burned, some that I know that got burned, like 5 years ago, they do want, they are starting to be interested again.
Yeah, I
So
can see that. I can see how, because some of the stuff is right where it was at 5 years ago. So
yeah,
and then
so
you see the correlation with what's happening in the economy, what's happening with money. And if you're anybody that pays attention to that, you're like, okay, something's about to pop off here. And like, we have to, I mean, the bottom line is we have to print this this money to, the debt is insolvent, and it's got to go somewhere, so
yeah, it will be interesting, an interesting period,
it will be.
especially with the energy crisis that is slowly but surely unfolding. Yeah, we will see. But I hope there can be a lot of, aside from all the personal suffering, of course, which is really terrible in my eyes for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
But if you are looking at the world economy, yeah, that will be something. So I just hope all those leaders can get around the table and yeah, find a solution. But it's we will see what happens.
We will.
We can only react to it, and also proactively to what we think that will happen. Yeah, but we cannot
prepare
what they are
ourselves.
doing.
Yep, that's all we can do is, like you said, and better than react is prepare and educate prior to, and do and control what you can control. And if we're out here like yourself, you're building, we're doing this show to shine light, on a weekly basis, and we just got to keep the conversation going. This isn't about the number go up, and that's what we want to make sure that we're continuing to hit home with. We've said it several times here. We don't care if Kaspa's at a penny, $10, $100. It's going to be great when it is, but that's not what this is about. It's not just about that.
No, and that's one of the things that I like. I think a lot of people who are still here in Kaspa, they finally have surrendered. Like, okay, it is what it is. It's good. I think because it will build new positive energy. Because people are just going to get busy, and those who like to do it, like myself, but also like you guys, we just keep on continuing and forming that base layer in the Kaspa, in the Kaspa ecosystem, because in the end, it's also with Bitcoin, but also with Kaspa, it's not just the code, it's the people behind the code and the people using the code, and forming their own tribe around it and their own system. And people also like you too. I'm really appreciative of what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Because this is really, because you guys, and I keep saying it, you have a different angle of going into this whole ecosystem of Kaspa, and I think it's needed, and it will be, even though the amount of listeners will be relatively low at this moment, because that's not just you, that's all of crypto, but it will just your presence and being there every week or almost every week, it's giving that human, it's building that human foundation that's needed. And that's also a little bit, if I'm looking back to the early days of Bitcoin, the financial institutions, I can remember, but this was really between 2013, 14, 15, so something like that. There was certainly, after several years, there was certainly interest also from TradFi, because they were saying to each other, "Hey, look at those crazy nerds with their online fantasy money. They don't sell and they stick around."
There's something here, right?
Yes,
like
yes. Because the people they stayed, and not everybody, but there was a core group that stayed, and that stayed active and stayed promoting the idea of sound money. And just the act of people hanging around, even though the price crashed 2 times already back then, that people were staying around and just kept on trying to see if they could make it better and improve, and that there were also back then already plenty of people who just were then hodling, and that gave it value. And that's also something that I think Kaspa is going through also at this moment. We see that this how do you say it? That there is a particular amount of people that just stick around, that keep believing, and that keep building, and keep spreading the word. And that's what ultimately will give Kaspa value. So
I completely agree. I've said it a few times. It doesn't matter what the price is. The tech is still the same. And, people like you, Seb, who are building on it constantly, and, seeing the work that these people are doing to really have Kaspa be utilized, that should impact the price. But the fact that it doesn't change the fact of what is happening. That's why we love to say that we operate in truth. What is true? What's true is that Kaspa's utility is only going to grow, and by the time it's there, then other people will go, "Oh man, what's this new Kaspa thing?" And then they'll see that we have 300 episodes of what we're doing,
exactly,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're early. It's not that everyone sitting in here is early. It's that Kaspa itself is so early that this tech really needs to be figured out and utilized, and it takes people like you, Seb, to make sure that that gets put in place.
Yeah, and you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, we're all the early adopters. So if you track back and look in history, there's so many examples of stuff like this happening. I mean, I look at it in my own life. It's like I feel like I've been an early adopter to a lot of things. My favorite poem is Robert Frost, A Road Less Traveled, two roads diversion at Yellowwood, and I chose the one less traveled by, and that has made all of the difference. Like that has been my life since I was that fat 8-year-old center who dreamed about being a quarterback. And I eventually became a quarterback 10 years later. So for me, it's like, okay, it like all the signs are there. Everything's there. So yeah, we appreciate you, Seb, and thanks for coming up and sharing what you're up to. And yeah, we're gonna be here every week. So this week is on Friday. We'll see what it's gonna be next week, but we're gonna definitely show up weekly, no doubt. And eventually, the goal is I can talk about this, Bishop, because this is Bishop's dream. Bishop, if it were up to Bishop, we would be running a show every day.
Every day.
Every day. So I'm the one that can't commit to that just yet. But like I would love that too, man. I would love to. Well, you're like this too, Seb. It's like we're doing what we're doing, right? But we gotta acknowledge where we're at. And like this is a passion project for me too, man. I get juice. This is the medicine for me. You know, like I said, I'm not on X much, but I'm committed to this. I have to come up and show up, even if I don't know what's going on. You know, I know I'm a host of this show, but I'm going to come on and have this conversation. You guys tell me what's going on, and I'm going to be real about where things are at. That's it. But we gotta keep having the conversations. No doubt.
Great. I will be going. I will mute myself, but I will be listening again.
All right, thanks, Seb. Much appreciated.
Appreciate it, Seb.
Thank you.
We got Buffalo.
Yeah, we got Buffalo. Buffalo. We were gonna try to get out at 2 today.
We're good. We're good though.
We do like another 10 minutes, 10, 15
We can go. Yeah. All
right.
We're good.
All right. Awesome. Buffalo. Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah. Sorry, I had to go to the store, and then I got on the phone call with my lady, and you know, chatting with her and being supportive and all that. So I wasn't listening to the last 30 minutes. So I apologize if I'm coming in blind. But I'm stoked that you guys are rocking a Friday. Like I'm down with this. I love my Mondays. I'm not gonna lie. And Juan, I think it was either Bishop or Juan in the beginning, because I was listening earlier, was talking about like I like Mondays because it's we add to the Mondays. And you guys are right, because when we start our weeks, we're like, okay, I got to get up and I got to pick up the sword and shield and I got to go run through it, and it's nice to have that kind of that support and understanding, or at least kind of vision shift, right? As we get up and we go and we put our effort and we expend that energy to get fiat, it's wonderful that we have this option. That Kaspa is the option of, hey, I'm not going to lose value of my money today. Like, this is a good thing. So it's a good reminder, and I appreciate the conversations. I appreciate the the sports and just the I don't want to say is it masculine? I mean, it's a boy, like Mondays to me are like a boy's day. Like, it's the boys are coming in. I'm not trying to.
I'm sold, bro. I'm sold.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
I hear you. No,
that's how Bishop feels. We just had to make a little adjustment based on some shit that happened this week. We'll be back.
It was me that said it, because I was thinking of you, Buffalo. You did say it before on the show that like we help your Mondays, and that resonated with me, because Mondays, people, what's it? I don't even remember what they call it. Like, a case of the Mondays, right? Like, I've never felt that way anyway. Like, I actually like Mondays. My son likes Mondays too. Like, he gets to get his routine going, right? He gets to start his school thing. On the weekends, he's pretty scatterbrained, but having that routine, like I mentioned earlier, like, people love structure. They love routine. But yeah, I was thinking of you, Buffalo, because anything we can do to help. And yeah, the boys' day, I definitely feel that energy. Like, and we've had it. Like, well, I don't know about you, but in my life, I got some of my toughest buddies. I've sat around and cried with, because it's just about being with that trusted source of energy that turns to be what this show is. Like, no, we're not like, oh, bro, this taking shots, crushing beers on our heads, but we definitely will if we wanted to. And I believe that's what you're speaking to, that you can trust that if the energy goes that way, you're with your boys. So yeah, man, I'm glad we can bring that for you.
Yeah, yeah, and and it's wild because you see these TikToks or you see these Instagram videos, and it's like, well, men don't have any emotions, or men don't. I'm like, we're human, all right? Just calm down. Just because we don't talk about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Like, if we have a hard time, like, at least I know that I can have a genuine person, like a person who's rooted in trust, right? Rooted in, like, let's go with like the facts of life. And yes, we're humans. Yes, we have emotions and whatever, but we have to get up and we have to pick up that shield, we have to pick up that sword and go make things happen. Doesn't mean like we're afraid of Mondays. Yeah, we're going to go attack it, but it's good that this is here because it's a reminder for me on a Monday, like what I'm doing and why I'm here, right? So like I'm here for freedom. I'm here to have that sovereignty and be like, okay, I'm going to work, I'm doing these things, I'm making this happen. I have a community that doesn't lie to me, that doesn't get all egotistical. Like, for the longest time, man, like, being friends with men was very difficult in my early 20s because men, like, they were insecure, and not all of them, but a lot of them. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with my friends over here that aren't retarded. So I'm like, okay,
I can relate.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That age is a lot of competition too, right? Oh, how much money
Well,
do you have? How many girls are you sleeping with? Like, it's
yeah. No, and that's true. And I mean, and I never played into that. Like, I'm like, yeah, like, I'm not. It's so funny because, like, I don't feel like a competitive person at all, because what I knew at a young age, I don't know if this is just how I was raised by my father, because I didn't have a mother. I just had a father. So I was raised by a single dad, which in the 80s didn't happen. So what we're always trying to strive is to be better than we were yesterday. Right? Like, this isn't a competition with other men. To me, so like in my 20s, I was like, oh, we're competitive. Of course we have some of that because we're men, but like, in general, like, I would go hang out with nerds. Like, I'm a nerd. Like, let's go do nerdy shit. Fuck, man, I'll sit and play. I'll play some chess with you, or because we do like a little competition, but it's not about ego. And I think that can be good, and it's not a bad thing, because I think competition is healthy. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not better than you. We're all made. Once again, you don't have to believe what I believe, but I'm just speaking because I don't have filters. So, like, we're all human beings. We're all made from God. We're all on the same playing field. Doesn't matter your race, your creed, whatever. Like, as men, we're just men, right? And I think the biggest thing is, like, hey, I'm competing with myself because I want to be. Shout out to Jordan Peterson. I want to be 1% better today than I was yesterday. And sometimes I can't do that, right? And that's okay. But as long as I'm still going towards it, right? We don't fail unless we stop trying, unless we stop putting the work in. And yeah, so it's nice to be around men who understand that. And I think both of you do. It's like, we want to help the community. We want to help ourselves. And when we help ourselves, we help our community. We're not here trying to attack each other. We're not trying to, like, oh, well, I did this, or I'm better than you, or whatever. I mean, of course, we call out retarded people when they're retarded, and hopefully that helps them.
Well, you do, for sure. You definitely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I definitely do that.
Yeah.
But with a layer of, like, hey, maybe study Kaspa, or maybe let's learn about money, right? Or maybe, like, this is why things are this way. Maybe learn about it so you can have a healthy view of it and not just be a sheep. But I know I'm going off. But anyway, I know you guys have to go soon, so I'm talking too much.
We don't. We're good. Well,
Okay.
We're good. We got a new speaker that requested to speak, so we want to hear from Joshua here in a second. But no, Buffalo. Listen, bro. Like I said this at the beginning. I think you were on. This show is medicine, and I'm being reminded of that right now. And you speak to a lot of things that I think are just true in society with men, right? It's like, they're same here, bro. Like there's a part of me that's competitive, but like not like how I was when I was playing football and trying to dominate people. Or even in business, man. It's like the world is shifting. The world is shifting. The old systems are falling apart. New systems are emerging. So I think, especially with how we speak on this show and with listeners like you and you coming up and giving your input, it speaks to exactly what's happening, bro. Like we're not separate. So it doesn't matter to me, it does not matter what your beliefs are. And because that all comes from like how you were raised. Like for you, like you said, thanks for sharing with us. I didn't realize that about you, but you're raised by a single dad and you're going to be influenced by, some of the things that he taught you coming up. And then, but you found comfort with a certain group of friends. And, I can tell you as an athlete, as somebody who was like, most of my friends weren't my teammates. Like I was friends with the nerds too. And I would stick up for those guys. And I was in chorus as a senior in high school because I could sing somewhat in tune.
Just because you got a beautiful voice, bro.
there we go. So I was a tenor, a little bit of a tenor, like the Justin Timberlake voice. But anyways, brother, I appreciate everything that you're saying because I think you're speaking to what more men need. And it's just like being vulnerable and speaking truth, bro. Like that's what we need more of. So people can show up as themselves. And I think you're more of a man when you're willing to go there and you're willing to open up because it gets other people to be like, oh shit, fuck, I'm going through the same thing, man. Like, damn. Okay. And it gets people to work through their stuff because like we're all one and the same, man. We're all working towards the same shit.
Tell you, I'm so glad that Juan went on a run there because I actually got pretty emotional while I was preparing myself to respond to Buffalo because what you said and you don't have to preface yourself for us, right? We know you, we trust you. But if you want to preface yourself for the audience, that's fine as well. And Buffalo, that me and you do not specifically agree on a lot of things. But what I wanted to say to you that got me emotional without even bringing it up was I see you and I know you see me. And that's all that's here, man. Like we can have these conversations and we're not afraid of it. And that's why our show is special. And it goes from crypto to life, and it's in the description. Like this is life, this is crypto, this is sports when we get a chance. Like, but this sovereign mindset of treating yourself a certain way, you then tune into these frequencies that other people have, even when you don't agree on things. And we don't have to, but the one thing we absolutely agree on is discourse and honesty and truth. Like, fuck yeah, man. So no, like
100%.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you so much for what you bring to the table. Because even in the things that you are very passionate about that I don't follow anymore, like for specifically religion, right? I know it's very important to you, and it used to be important to me. And I'm not saying that all of it isn't important to me anymore. You help remind me some of the things that are still important to me about it, and it's just that's enough for me.
Same here.
And you're not willing, or it's not important enough to you to sit there and soapbox and drill it into me until I believe again. No, you speak your truth. It comes from your heart, your soul. I think you're one of the most authentic people that we have up here speaking every time. So if you have to preface yourself just so people kind of know that you're not trying to thump a Bible or a political belief or what have you, like, no, that's fine, bro. But we see you. We trust you. Speak your mind. We're here for it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's-
Bishop, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I really do. And yeah, I do. I know you guys know me. I just preface it for for everybody else, because I know how I can come off sometimes.
Well, I think like Bishop said, man, you know, I agree with him. You're always authentic, always real, calling people retards when they need to be called. I don't do that. I leave that up to you
Same.
and Onion and all that. But you know, so I'm not going to say I agree or disagree with that. I just leave that up to you, because I think but yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about this community, man. And one of the beautiful things I love about decentralization, it speaks more to like how life actually flows, right? And when we get out of our own way. And I think, you know, you talked about competition, and one of the things that you know, like I found myself to be a pretty competitive person, and I was most of the time better than most people, but I would feel bad about that, right? And what I realized was, like, instead of looking at it as competition, I started seeing trying to encompass all angles. Because like Bishop spoke to it, right? Like you do bring up your faith. And so it's like, what if I just respect people for where they're at, and their truth is their truth? If you do that, you get to experience people from all walks of life, man. And like, you know, my faiths and beliefs aren't going to necessarily land and be everything that you see, and that's okay. Because but I think, you know, that's one of the beautiful things about this community is, like, we get people from all different walks of life. If you can come at this in a decentralized type of mindset, you know, you'll be like, oh shit, like I didn't even realize it was like that over there, or damn, that's a different perspective. So if you can do that, you'll just experience more in life, you know, versus like caging yourself into a box. So
Yeah. And Juan, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think this is kind of important for me to point out. So you're talking about competitive, and then you're doing better than other people, and then you feel bad, right? Now, I want you to think about where you're at right now. I want you to think about what you're doing. What you are doing, what you and Bishop are both doing, because I mean, you're both fathers, which I think definitely plays a role in how you view reality today. But instead of competing, or instead of feeling bad about you doing better, all I see from the both of you is you guys are just trying to lift people up, right? From your right hand, they're in a ditch. You're trying to lift them up out of it, and I think that speaks volumes of what kind of people you are. And I think that parallel, when you said, like, I don't want to, like, I'm competitive, but you know, I felt bad when I did better. And at your point, you're just trying to teach people to be like, hey, I want you to be up here with me. I want you to be better. Like, what's the baseline? As much as I know, what's the baseline of like how I can do that to have the highest amount of impact, for not even the lowest amount of energy, but that's part of it, but like the highest amount of impact for the lowest amount of energy. And if I want to go and push that energy number up, then I'm even going to have more of an impact. And I think that's really big for both of you.
yeah, brother. I appreciate you pointing that out. And to speak to that, right? Like the layer that I got to is, because I don't feel bad about that anymore. Like, is the next step. And I do think that being a father plays into this. And like my son, he looks like his mom, but he kind of has some of my things. And he's not into sports, for example. But that's also plays into this, right? Like I realize that competition it can be, if you're almost, if you just look at the world in a way of, oh, I want to be better than that person, and then you don't have that feeling of like, but that person isn't on the same, you know, the same level as you, and instead of creating an environment where you can bring that up, like that's leadership to me. To me, that's leadership, when you're trying to bring people, meet people where they're at, and bring them up on their, you know, on their timing, on what works for them. So like that's where I found a happy medium for me, right? And I do think if you're like overly competitive and you're trying to like kill the other side, you kill creativity. You kill opportunities to see like the light and the beauty in other people and other things, right? So that's where I found like peace in that, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm good at a lot of things. I'm also pretty shitty at a lot of things too. But now I can even do some of the shitty things and be led in that too, you know? So yeah, brother, I appreciate you pointing that out. Great points.
Yeah, biggest thing for leadership to me is like you said, meet people where they're at, and you put them in position to be the best versions of themselves. you can't fit square pegs into round holes. So
Right.
to make people do things the way you do them, that's why a lot of doers aren't great leaders, because they know how to do it so well that they want people to do it the way they do, as opposed to really understanding how to get people to succeed at what they're great at.
Beautifully said.
But yeah, we got about 15 minutes left, because I do have to get going on to I got to fix my truck. DMV closes at 4, so it's over in an hour and a half. I got to fix it up and get out there. Not many things left. We do have Joshua up as a speaker as well. So Buffalo, I'm gonna send you back to the no speaking zone.
All good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Buffalo.
Good to hear from you, Joshua. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, I hope you guys can hear me. This is the first time I'm getting on. It's really an honor to be here, and I not expect to just get in on the call. And I've been holding Kaspa for over 2 years now. And, this is my first crypto ever purchased, and I always thought I'm going to get into crypto because it sounds so interesting. Because I've always been intrigued with tech and just understanding how things work in the tech space. And I was just surprised that I'd not involved myself with crypto early on. So and I was looking at different coins and thinking, what should I get? I want to get something special, and I want to get something that really is that makes sense, that I understand. It's not that I understand Kaspa now fully, but I know that it's in the right place, and I know that it's. I truly believe that if it does not work, like Kaspa does not work, doesn't go mainstream or where we want it to be. It doesn't have to go mainstream, but if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do on a global scale, and people don't know the name of Kaspa, I think then crypto would have failed. And I always say this to myself, and I have this strong belief that we are on the right track. We've got something that's really special. And I remember also there was one person who posted something. It was a Caspian, and he posted something about how he's going to get some Kaspa on a cold storage, and he's going to gift it to his son. And when he grows up, if it's going to be worth something, if Kaspa is worth whatever the value is, like a better value of now as of compared to what it is now, he said that maybe it might be worth something or it might not be worth anything. Either which way, his son would know that his dad took risks, and it's a good it's a good asset. It's a good lesson for him to kind of. I hope you guys can hear me still.
No,
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. No, I think you bring up. I think you bring up some great points, because you mentioned the ability to take a risk there at the end. You mentioned a few times what Kaspa's worth, but then you also said you got into it because of tech, and I think it's part of what we do here for Live on the Kaspa Standard is worry about the tech more than the price, because what it can do for the world has nothing to do with the price, right? Like in the true terms of what cryptocurrency should be, peer-to-peer cash, there should be value there. So me and Juan can go back and forth. Hey, I fixed your car for you. Throw me 1,000 Kaspa. That's worth something, right? But that's the exchange. But to your point, what is Kaspa going to do for the world? Global sequencing. It's helping to shore up the energy industry. If you listen to KII, Seb just came up here and beautifully articulated how it can do all kinds of things with AI agents and start to grow whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
so
I hadn't joined the call. I just joined the call about I just got on just maybe a few minutes, like maybe 10 minutes ago. So I was listening to you guys, and I don't mean to end what you're saying, but
go ahead.
I like how this this show doesn't talk about we don't talk about tech, and we don't talk about stuff that's we talk more about life. And
yes,
I've listened. I really like that, and that's such a unique thing. It just makes you feel that this world where we have so many everything's about likes, and everything's about numbers, and everything's about and we ignore simple things like mindset and how you feel and emotions and everything. And I really like that you guys talk about these things because it makes you feel grounded, and it kind of makes you feel that we're human at the end of it all, and it connects us all together. And I really like that it's centered around this. I hope I'm not rambling and I'm making sense. So
No,
that's all I
we
wanted to
love
say.
it. No. If anything, you're patting us on the back, man. You're showing us some love. We appreciate that. Like,
Absolutely.
What's in my head right now is Joshua is one of our people, Bishop. Like, this is exactly why we're running the show, because this is, we realize it, Joshua. Like, we've talked about it a couple times. I know you just joined here at the end, but just to reiterate, right? Like, most people are on the surface with it, and you sound like somebody with depth. Like, you obviously saw something here like you said, 2.5 years ago or so. And just even the way you're speaking, I can tell by your energy and what you're about. And then obviously what you like about the show, that you have depth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
There isn't enough conversations like this happening. And you're right. They're not going to, a lot of people kind of tune out because they're just not there yet. But you know why, I just see Kaspa, like, the chance of it failing is like, one, it's bounded by energy, decentralized. So someone's always going to buy it up. Like, maybe what people still see on the surface is the nominal price in it, right? Like, that's how people initially come into it. But when you're at where Joshua's at, where I'm at, where Bishop is at, where everybody on this call's at, you understand that Kaspa is something else. Maybe you can't put all the words together for it just yet, but there's something here. And I love that story about a dad saying, hey, I took a chance. Like, there's something about this. So let me put it in cold storage. And I'm going to hold it. And I just want my, I've done the same thing with my kid, man. And people that think that way.
It's funny. Sorry. It's funny that I saw this on a YouTube comment. It wasn't a Twitter post. It was a YouTube comment. And I think I took a screenshot. So if I find that screenshot, I'll probably share it with you guys. It really made me think, what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years. And I mean, if there's something that has to be chosen, like, in terms of decentralization, because I see now it's such an important term. Like, the word decentralization it's become so much more popular in the past maybe 4 years, you can say, compared to, like, it wasn't like this long time back. I mean, I never heard the word before, like, early maybe 2019. I never heard the word, and this is the first time I heard it. I think it was about some business related thing. So it's really nice to to catch up with you guys and hear. And also, I want to mention one more thing. I know, Juan, last time you are you're into fitness and yoga, and you've had this whole. I'm also kind of on a fitness journey right now. So it's good to hear you talk, and good to see progress. And I'd love to stay connected the next time we have a call. And you're doing great, all of you guys, and all of us meeting up and listening to each other is really nice. And just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Beautiful, man.
Thank you. I tell you what, that's a way to end the show.
That is right there, bro. That's tribe. Beautiful to meet Joshua. Man,
I mean, we just through, again, peaks and valleys, bro. Peaks and valleys. What a peak. And I really want Joshua to understand that everything he just said, we got that because we found Kaspa. Now, of course, I don't want to give Kaspa all the credit because you have to have it inside of you, but that down to an idea of what sovereignty looks like, what this conversation is. We landed on the name Live on the Kaspa Standard because as we were operating through the truth of Kaspa, we continued to talk this way no matter what we talked about. And part of why I wanted to have the show every day is because we wanted to talk sports, right? And we would get on here for 3 hours and never talk sports. Well, shit, maybe we need a Tuesday show where all we do is talk about sports, or we need a something else, because if we can bring this to anything, then why aren't we doing it? Now, the truth is, I want that as well, but it's the fiat pocketbook that says that I can't do that. Time is money, time is money. So the more time we spend here, that has to be of value. And it is. This is important. As I said earlier in the show, it helps support me as a person to now go be a provider the best I can. So I need this energy. This energy is beautiful. So man, we developed Live on the Kaspa Standard because we were community communicating this way, and we thank Kaspa for that for sure.
Yeah. It's going back to, like I mentioned this earlier in the episode, like desire plus non-resistance equals desired results, right? So like you and I are aligned to a vision. Kaspa's the platform, the noun to an idea. We all have these very similar energetic ways of vibing in the world. Like we're all on this frequency and we're meeting at that frequency. It just happens to be called Kaspa. And we're having these conversations that aren't mainstream yet, but trust me, they're going to be. This is only episode 20.
Yep.
There's 200, 2,000, maybe more coming. Like we're not going to stop, right? So we just got to take a look at things for what they are and operate within that, and then continue to speak the truth. So Joshua hit the nail on the head with his energy and what he brought there. So yeah, we appreciate you, brother. It was great meeting you. I think I saw that we follow each other. So I have a feeling like I don't know if we've talked before, but great to meet you here on the show. That was beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's wrap it up so I can go finish my headlights and get this damn truck inspected.
Do it.
We do absolutely want to thank everyone who joins the show or doesn't join the show, that listens, that watches back. If you're new to the show, youtube.com/liveonthekaspastandard. All 20 episodes are up there. We go live on YouTube every episode, so they're automatically uploaded. I do get over there every once in a while and put them all into a playlist just for the show. So check it out. Episodes 1 through 20 will be there at all times for our back catalog. If you're watching live, you can watch on vvor.xyz/channel/TWTX podcast, or you can go to live on the Kaspa on X, and we go live there as well. If you join the chat, you join the show. I put your comments up on the show. For me, follow me at TWTX podcast. For Juan at Glitchin888. Those are our X handles. If you want to send an energy exchange donation, feel free at LOTKS.kas or liveonthekaspastandard.kas. We are also sponsored by Better Melts. Let's get bettermelts.com. Use promo code LOTKS for 50% off. Glow Melts, Focus Melts, which I took before the show today, and Sleep Melts, or Dream Melts, I apologize, Dream Melts, which I do take about once a week when I'm feeling a little too angsty before bed and I can't quite stay in the present. Also, Seb, brilliant developer Seb, has Kasmap, kasmap.org. If you want to join premium, use promo code Juan, use promo code Bishop, either or, get you a little discount on premium. We got to bring that back up. I got to find a way to get the audio to work better when Kasmap is up. Something missed the last time we did that. But I would love to see that map up again with all the exchanges happening at once. Also, in the description of the show, there's a Kraken link. If you join Kraken, you get some fiat, I get some fiat, and we help use that as well to just spread some Kaspa in the community. So that's about all I got. Those are the handles. That's the promo. I want to appreciate everyone who stopped by. Juan, close us out.
A reminder, guys, Kaspa, ladies and gentlemen, Kaspa is vibrating at the frequency of truth seekers, and the truth is catching on. Remember to be humble, be kind, give it time. Let's go. Love you all. We'll see you on episode 21.
Thank you, guys.
All right.